Right, I thought I'd do something different for the channel, as basically a lot of my teas are in pre-malt, and I'm waiting to sort of feed a few recently malted ones. So we're going to do some cookery and see how it goes, and I might do a separate channel, because obviously, you know, tarantulas and then cooking, it's not a good combination, unless you're in Thailand. Anyway, so we've got a bit of an old paella dish here, and we're going to be doing this on the barbecue. So yeah, well, I'm going to show you basically the ingredients. So I've got a mix here, which is a paella mix, but I can't actually remember what's in paella. It's, yeah, cucumber, no, curcuma, pimiento, so that's pepper, garlic, laurel, I've forgotten what that is, pimienta de Jamaica, cilantro is coriander, azafran, and then more pepper. Doesn't have any salt. I've actually added a bit of salt. So the curcuma, I'm not quite sure what that is. I've got some of this actually in here, which is like a French one I bought last year in France. So I'm going to use that up this year as well, depending on how this goes. So yeah, I mean, but basically any dish is kind of okay. I mean, I'm doing the paella mix, but you could just do a simple like allspice, pepper, garlic, coriander. So yeah, I'll have another rethink of it and put ingredients in the description. So what I've done is I've added a bit of touch of soy sauce actually to this, but you don't have to, and a bit of olive oil, and then I'm going to coat this in the chicken and then marinate it. Now if you want to marinate it overnight, you'll probably get better results, and that'd be the same for like any sort of basically chicken that's done on the barbecue. Marinate overnight, but I'm going to just marinate it for 2 hours. So let's just do that and then get the chicken ready, and then I'll show you how I'm going to start basically cooking it all on the heat. Bit of oil in here. In fact, actually what I'm going to do is pre-season this pan. Oops. Leave a bit of oil in there just to season it a bit, rub it in with my hands, and then we'll get cooking, and I'll show you what I do with the rest of the vegetables, etc. And I've just dropped the oil everywhere. So I've got the barbecue really nice and hot. It's actually not the best barbecue you really want to use. You perhaps want to use something that's a bit bigger, because if you see, I've got too many coals in basically, and it's quite near the top, so I'm going to have to put the chicken around the side. But the chicken's been marinating away, and all that we're going to do now is basically brown it, get the skin nice and crispy, and then I've got some foil to hand, and then I'm going to wrap them in foil, put them to the side and cook them for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm going to get the paella dish on, whack them back in. Actually no, I'm going to leave them to cook in the foil, and then get the pan nice and hot, and then do all the veggies, add the can of tomatoes, add some more spice maybe, and then when that's all cooked off, add back in the chicken, and then I'm going to add some stock, which I'll explain what I've used in the stock, but it's basically stock cube and water, but I've changed it a bit, so because I didn't have any stock cubes. Best thing obviously is to make stock yourself. So yeah, so we're just going to cook the chick now. It's sizzling away, and when it's got a nice colour, I'll put the vid back on. Ah crap, I think I might have not pressed pause there, so you could have got a minute or two of absolutely nothing. But anyway, in goes the veggies. Oh. And that's more of the kind of stuff that I was using earlier, which was the mixture of the paella packet and some herbs and stuff. And then what I'm going to do is add a bit of extra, sprinkle on a bit of this stuff, which is the French thing I showed you earlier. So literally I'm just going to add a pinch or two of that, you know, and then I've got a little bit more smoked paprika here, just a little bit more flavour, and then we're going to fry these off, literally 5 minutes or so. If this gets louder, by the way, it's because I'm coming near the phone as I'm filming, but yeah, just a little bit of brown on it, and then we're going to put it all together. and then add our stock water. One thing I forgot to tell you about is when you're doing this, like this is basically not a traditional paella. So my sister-in-law would probably say, "Esto no es paella." That's not paella, basically. Should tell me off. Kukuruchuku. So that's a joke for her. But because the kuruma stuff, there's a joke. But yeah, I'm pushing on. But yes, what you do is you basically do garlic and oil, and then I can't remember the order. I never remember actually, but I think I might have done it wrong, because you do oil, garlic, and then add tomato puree. When that's all hot, you then add your veggies. But I'm going to add the tomato, not puree, can of tomatoes now, or maybe 2 cans. But in this case, this is not a huge paella. I'm only going to use the one. So in it goes, and then again, like literally a couple minutes, 2 minutes, let it soak up all the flavours. It's not massively important to get, you just want to just warm it through basically, and then on to the next stage, and then that's pretty much where we can sort of chill. Right, so that's pretty much it, and I've got a jug here because you're going to need that for transferring. God, that noise next door is really annoying me. But let's put it all together now. So this is just going to come off quickly on the floor. And we got the bad boy, because it was actually too small. The paella dish. I've got, you know, quite a bit of rice to add. So we're just going to get this hot, basically. Oh, bit oil. Don't really want to, just a little bit. Chicken back in. Looking good. And then all this goes back in. Just creating extra washing up here. Still, not much to do in isolation. So we're just going to let that sort of come to the boil a bit. We'll just heat through. And basically I'll show you the stock I've made. It's got a couple of herb bouquet garnis, they're called. And then I just used a bit of kind of, basically a stock cube in there. Some water. In this case I didn't have any stock cubes, so I've used a pack of, I think it was Chinese noodles, but hey, as I said, this is not a classic paella by any means. So let's take these out. Oops, plonk. And then what we're going to do is just add, and we got, oh, by the way, we've got some lentils in here as well. So oh, that's looking good. In goes the lentils. And then we need to add some rice to this when it's boiling, basically. And then this is going to take about an hour or so, I reckon, more or less. When it, you know, or maybe just depends really how long the paella rice takes to cook. Yeah, point about the paella rice is you could actually have put that in a pan of water to basically clean it off, and then, you know, just sieve it. And sorry, drain it basically, yeah. So yeah, let's put the rice in. And if anyone who's made a paella before will tell you, I have made a boob. But yeah, what I was meant to do was, when I was doing the veggies, or before the veggies, no, that's how you do it, sorry. You get the oil nice and hot with some garlic, and then you add the paella rice, and then cook that off, and then add your veggies, and then add your tomato puree, I think. I'll need to confer with my with the powers that be, the Spanish in-laws, but I'll be speaking to them tomorrow, as it's my niece's birthday. So yeah, so this is kind of like a nice little preemptive something fun to do before then. Anyway, paella rice. It's not that much, and also the barbecue seems to have died. which is not good because I need this to come to the boil. But worst case scenario, this is just going to go back in on the hob. So I'll put the lid on and then report back in a bit. Right, it's been on here for about an hour or so. I've taken the chicken out. I'll just show you the consistency. So yeah, when you're cooking it, you've got to be really careful that it doesn't burn on the bottom. So my plan now is to just crisp up the chicken, and then, yeah, I like the skin on the chicken, so that's why I'm going to do that. It's got a little bit watery, so ideally you want to measure out the water. Sorry, yeah, well, basically when you're doing rice, you've got to probably measure out the water properly. I just, I kind of know, but I kind of got it a bit wrong, because traditionally a paella, when it comes out, isn't quite as runny as this, but it will evaporate off a bit as it cools. So let's get the chicken on quick. So I hope you enjoyed this little video of it's not really paella, this big disclaimer. So and I did it wrong, but yeah, I'll do a proper one when I get proper ingredients, because a classic paella, well, Valencian is chicken and rabbit, but and obviously a normal one is paella de marisco, which is a seafood one, which I tend to prefer actually to the meat one. But obviously I can't go to the supermarket at the moment, so I can't get anything like mussels and prawns. But yeah, if you like the vid, please let me know, and maybe I'll do some more cookery vids in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching and have a lovely weekend. So yeah, this is the finished article. It's looking really nice on a plate. Bit of salad and a whole glass of gin. No, that's actually water. So yeah, I did say thanks for watching, but anyway, I thought I would just do a little kind of end piece, as it were. But yeah, if you like these videos, then I can do some more. I got some of my own recipes that I could teach people, mostly barbecue, but no, I can do other things as well, cakes. So there's this one Turkish cake I really want to, well, Turkish dessert I want to try and make with puff pastry. I think it's called baklava. Yeah, so that's going to be something I'm going to do. And then the smoker, I've just got into smoking meat, so I'll do a walkthrough of that and do a little review of a sort of cheap entry-level smoker. But yeah, time to eat. Bon profit.